Hey, what's going on, everyone? So I just want to come back in and kind of highlight some stuff that we had talked about as far as how to optimally get the body to function like you want it to, and how do we operate at our highest level? Get that peak performance. Whether maybe we're an athlete, professional athlete, maybe we're just a general, avid person that wants to work out on the weekends or even during the week just to stay in shape. And it really doesn't. I don't think it really matters that what level of fitness you're at, if that makes sense, in order to have the best optimal fitness, if that makes for your body and what you're trying to perform. I really think it comes down to what at the end of the day you obviously have to be clear and define what goals you want to have, but also how to understand your body. And a lot of us honestly have never been taught what health is, and really to a deeper level. Maybe we grew up in an area where PE was part of our regimen growing up, or maybe played sports, but we're never really educated on what exactly health is and how to take care of ourselves. Even if we go to higher levels of education, we kind of hit surface level. And for most people out there, the media is kind of their main source of health and fitness. And whereas sometimes it can be good, it can also be detrimental to the way we think and what we think is the most important. So, I want to kind of highlight some things that we had talked about as far as the body, the system, and how it works together as a whole. And I think this is super important because once you understand this, uh, you have to think of the body as a system, and just kind of like your car. I always use a car because it's always an easy example. But there's different parts of a car. If something goes out, the car quits working. If we don't change the oil in the car, it starts running slow, and just things kind of get sluggish, and over time it shuts down. And so if we don't do the same thing to our body, what ends up happening, you start seeing people have organ failure. Just in general, their body deteriorates. And usually it's pretty subtle at first, where they have a lot of symptoms like maybe pain, they don't sleep well, anxiety, stress, and just in general, their mood is affected, their energy levels. So a lot of things here. So I really want to kind of come in here, dive in, and to share a little bit on what we do as far as to kind of look at the body from a whole, but then how to also take that concept and then apply it to a higher level of how we operate in general. So let me go ahead and share this screen real quick, and then we can kind of dive in a little bit deeper on it, what it looks like, to start out with really cleansing the body. Get a good understanding of that, because I think that's kind of one of the first things. And I want to talk about different levels of cleanse, because it's not just from a health standpoint, but also physical. So let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. And then what we'll do is we'll go over here and teach on how to become the CEO of your own health. And so this one here is really exciting because, once you understand this, you really get a better understanding of, what things maybe you should be looking at right now that's going to be the most important to you. And when I talk about becoming the CEO of your own health, I'm really telling people to really, take ownership. Majority of times, most people wait till the very end to where they have a health issue, and they're like, oh, I'm in the clinic being a physical therapist, performance coach. We always get on the back end where a lot of people a lot of times wait till the very end. They're saying, I feel good, I'm healthy, things are working fine, but in reality, underneath the surface, there's a lot of things going on. So what are the most common things here? And most people, it's always generally fatigue, weight gain, aging, sickness, and then those are probably the main ones. But what does that look like? It's usually because we're toxic, we're out of balance, our pH or hormone levels, and then we also like good nutrition. So let's just be honest. We're all busy, we're all traveling, we eat a lot of fast food, and so we just have to be smart and strategic. And so here's the cool thing. What I learned is you don't have to be an expert. You just got to be a strategist. And so once you understand some simple concepts, you can make your life a lot easier. But most people don't think about this, but a lot of times wherever they live, wherever they travel, where they've grown up, they're exposed to a lot of chemicals and toxins. Whether it goes to the food that they eat, what they drink, what they breathe in. A lot of the air quality is not quite up to par. Pharmaceuticals, that's a high consumption. Over 80% of all pharmaceuticals are consumed in the U.S. As far as worldwide, all pharmaceuticals consumed in the U.S. is over 80% here in the U.S. So that's a high number. Now, whereas a lot of pharmaceuticals can be plant-based derivatives, they also have a lot of chemicals and excipients and binders in there that we do not want in our system. So even water, most people don't think about this, but when we take a shower, all the chlorine and fluoride that gets to your skin, there's a lot of stuff in there that they had to put in there so it doesn't kill us in the first place. But it's stuff we drink. A lot of the water we drink is very toxic. And so just things that you want to be cautious about. So real quick, I want to basically kind of go over here and highlight a couple of things that I was going to be talking about on the cleanse. And so let me pull up this one here. I think I had, here we go. So this is really cool because we're, in one of our groups, Pure Fit. You're welcome to join, come hear about it. learn what's going on. People unite, reaching everyone to be fit and understand how their bodies work. We do a simple philosophy called cleanse, balance, and build. But today I really want to talk about cleanse. And what the nice thing about our cleanse is we're featured on the physician's desk reference. And what that means is, when doctors look something up as a medication, they can recognize this as a powerful product. And, even though it's all natural, again, it's the power of what's in it, of how it detoxes our body, gets rid of all the chemicals and toxins that actually gets our body and our system moving. So kind of like your car, like I was saying, if you don't clean out the oil, things get a little sluggish. Same thing with our bodies. A lot of us are carrying around anywhere from 5 to 8 pounds of sludge throughout our body. So what this does is go everywhere in the body, wherever the blood flows, and pulls these chemicals and toxins out. But the neat thing here is, and I want to show you this because there's over 7 channels of elimination from our liver, lung, blood, skin, colon, kidneys, lymphatic system. So why is this important to you though? Our liver is actually one of the main areas that when we eat food and or take medication, that it gets into the bloodstream, goes straight to the liver to be metabolized, broken down to distribute it throughout the body to the different organs where it needs to go. If we're constantly taxing our liver with bad stuff, guess what? It shuts down. It's one of the vital organs that we have to stay alive. And that's why it's such an important thing to take care of. Your lungs, same thing. With what's going on with certain viruses spreading out and different things right now that you have to be concerned about. The lungs are a big contributor to oxygen, how we breathe. Your blood that carries oxygen to work in our body, whether it's for healing, whether it's for staying alive. The oxygen helps with basically everything in the body, the way it functions, and it's carried through different pathways in the body. So again, if we slow those pathways down, then we eliminate and or slow down our process of healing, recovery, and or in general staying alive. So super important there. Same thing, your blood, the skin. The skin is the largest organ in the body. People don't think about this, but if you don't take care of your skin, so here's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the lotions and or other stuff that they put on their skin actually gets absorbed into the body, and they can either gain the toxins there, they can gain weight. Our system is unique. If you don't think about this from head to toe, we're super connected, and we start to lose this connection. That's when people start to really miss out on the overall picture of how to have whole health and actually optimize their full performance here. Your colon, same thing. That's where the toxins are eliminated. If people are carrying around an extra 5 to 8 pounds of sludge within their colon, they're backing their system up, which that's all you're doing is allowing the toxins to stay in your body longer. You want to eliminate that. Same thing with the kidney. It's one of the other vital organs that we need to, as far as filtration. It's got to, working on the sodium, potassium, water, as far as pathways of certain things that we drink and or eat that make it metabolized. And after these metabolites are going throughout the body, how do we eliminate them? What do we get out of our system, the toxins? And then last but not least, your lymphatic system that helps through a passive movement carry a lot of toxins to distribute and or remove throughout the body. So here's how this looks for you, because not all of this is going to be from a nutritional side. This is all from three main categories that we look at. 1, your mind; 2, your body; and 3, your soul. So I think a lot with what's going on right now too, your mindset, you need to start plugging into some positive stuff. You want to cleanse your body. You want to take full advantage of what you have, your ability to operate. You need to understand that the mind is a super important part. And if we don't take care of it, then we don't plug into positive things, positive people, positive readings. We don't get those vibrations. We don't get those connections, everything that helps educate us and or the pathways that have, as far as how our nervous system works, to help our mind to operate at the fullest level here. Your brain is the fattest organ in the body. So here's the thing, is over time, if we don't detox, get rid of all the metals and or chemical stuff that basically get distributed through our body up into the brain, over the years, people will start to get sluggish in their thought process, their energy levels, their ability to think, their memory. Then it starts affecting their mood, lifestyle, health in general. But long-term certain diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. So there's a lot of different things that can tackle onto each other. But again, this is there's never going to be one perfect answer. But I think again, if you have strategy throughout the years and you really look hard at what detoxing can be, you can understand that this is a super important part to your body and how you can have optimal health. Become that CEO, take ownership, and how you defend yourself. So that's a key thing here. So your body in general, when we talk about physical movement, that's a good way to detox. Sweating our bodies are meant to move. Everyone's going to find their own routine of exercise, how they feel like they can get in there and really, sweat it out, work it out. Range of motion is so huge. And this is probably one of the biggest missed opportunities most people have, is learning how to become more mobile, meaning how do your joints move? How do you open up your joints, get toxins moving throughout the body? When we're stagnant, we sit all day, we travel a lot, and we don't move. Guess what? A lot of stuff gets tight, the joints, and then they get held up within the body. And that's why a lot of times you'll see a lot of even certain people in the hospitals too. They're on, or yeah, just in general throughout life, they get on medications or other stuff that gets in their body, and all of a sudden they start moving around. Well, guess what? It's been sitting in their body for a long time and can reappear throughout the day, the next day, that week. So a lot of stuff just to think about why movement's so important. Not only just for our general health, flushes out the system, the lymphatic system. Movement, we start contracting muscles. Again, it helps squeeze, gets the veins, the blood back to the heart, and then also lymphatic system moving, so we can help detox, sweat it out, get moving, find a workout of your choice. I always tell people, you know what, you got to keep it fun. One of our talks last week, we had a strength coach. She was the first strength coach in NFL, first woman strength coach, two-time long world champion as far as drive in golf. And so that's super awesome. Just understands the body, strength and conditioning from that mindset, from that perspective. I was really talking about, what are the 4 F's? Form, and fun. Form, posture. We always want good posture when we're working out. We want to know that we're setting our tone, we're setting our intention. We talked about mindset. Now we're at the body. We got the form. We have the posture. That way we can activate the muscles. We can move the joints properly, get rid of the toxins, and again, eliminate it through our system. And last but not least is your soul. What do you really care about? I was listening to a podcast today, Dave Asprey, if you've heard of Bulletproof Coffee, and they're talking on this one too about the connectivity. The same neurons, neuroglial cells, the stuff that's found in our brain is found in our heart. So there's a huge relationship, correlation, I believe, throughout the whole body, as much as there is the heart and the mind, as far as when I say like the second brain being in the gut. But when you understand this, what do you care about? What are you here for? Is it to as far as on earth? It doesn't have to be just in general health and fitness. From a humanity standpoint, what are our intentions? Is it to help other people? Are we out there trying to be good team members, and whether it's at work, whether it's at maybe at church, maybe out in the community? Everyone's going to have their own beliefs when it comes to soul. But I think in general, we all have that innate want and or desire to help other people. So when you bring that together, there's a lot more movement in there. So you have the mind, you have the body, you have the soul. You connect those together, learn how to detox it. Whether it's from a health standpoint, from a physical standpoint, there's different routes of doing it. But again, they're super connected. And that's what I love about the body and how diverse it is, because once you start understanding these pathways and the connections in the system, then you can operate at higher levels. And that could be, again, that could be in your general health. It could be in your relationships and your wealth, meaning your business. Because when you feel better and you're able to engage with other people at higher levels, well, then just business in general happens at a higher level too. So they're all connected. So last but not least, when I was talking about like detox and understanding how the body works, the main thing is for us to really, I think, one of the guys at work said it today is we have a lot of clients and a lot of people in pain, and sometimes just a negative situation or maybe negativity on life. He's like, you really got to love yourself, and you've got to really find that passion for yourself. What are you passionate about? What are your goals in life? You don't have to have everything set here. You're sitting here, write down every single thing and be like, oh, I know I'm going to do today. But, because things will change over life. You have different seasons. Today, this year, even though people are in a different season, things are changing really quick. And you really start to learn, what's most important to you. And, how can I go in there and be really diligent with this season? So I did want to highlight a couple of things here because, on that cleansing, we were talking about it in the group and with Pure Fit, and a lot of them are trying to, we're not only just trying to work out and learn great techniques for working out, everyone's really trying to learn how to operate at higher levels in their body, their system, and they're big in detoxing and understanding that. So we talked about the cleanse, the 7 channels elimination. The liquid cleanse is a little earthy tasting. But I think at the end of the day, it's a very powerful product because it can be it's in general when you understand the body in general. When I was talking about the cleanse being an earthy taste in the liquid, there's a lot of herbs in there. There's probably, I don't know, maybe over 20, 30 herbs that just go in there to every single organ in the body. You start pulling these toxins out. I know that the first time I started to, I used to get really bad headaches and migraines. When I start to really realize the power of that, pulling those toxins out, you quit, all of a sudden quit waking up that head hangover, just hard time thinking, that clarity, that focus. And all of a sudden, the headaches start going away. And so that was a huge thing for me because I've been doing Excedrin for over 8 years. And so that was big. They also have a capsule cleanse, where you can take it with, it's got a little aloe vera in there, so it helps a little bit more on the weight loss part. Then also there's a daily detox, so it's not as strong, but just a gentle detox, so daily, because again, we're exposed to toxins every day of your life. So figure out what works for you. There's products, there's fitness routines, there's food. If you look on the scale, like I always tell people, is you can simply Google this green. Green leafy vegetables, the acid versus alkaline. The more alkaline you can eat, again, that's going to keep your cells at the optimal level to where your body can function, operate at higher levels. So a lot of different herbs out there, a lot of different fruits and vegetables that are brought here for a reason. The main thing is just, I think, you become your own, your own CEO of your own health, taking ownership, diving in, learn a few things, try stuff. Sometimes it is using yourself as a guinea pig, but really ask questions, try to figure out like what's best for you, and how can you get in there and get rid of the junk, get rid of the system. You're going to see major changes. You're going to see your energy level is going to be up. You're going to sleep better. Your pain is going to be less. When we get rid of toxins, all of a sudden, again, all those 7 pathways I talked about, the machine starts flowing. Your system starts functioning, and it starts coming together and working together. And you start to see some collaboration, some teamwork, just like our group here. That's been awesome. Everyone's teamwork in this, helping each other out, just to kind of learn. We're all coming at this from different health conditions. Again, some may be in it just for losing weight. Some may be in it for decreasing pain. Maybe they're on a lot of medication. Some people are trying to get fit, trying to establish what are their exact goals in fitness and where to operate at higher levels. And some people, honestly, they want to maintain that healthy lifestyle because they know quality of life is important. I'll leave you with this because, this is the one big thing that we always see in the clinic is, most people here in Florida come to the clinic, and at the end of the day, it's you're hearing all these stories of, the years of retirement. Everyone's working so hard and they can't wait to get to that end, where they retire, they get to go travel the world and enjoy it. And the one thing I hear every single day is these aren't the golden years. And meaning, when they get down here, before they know it, they spent their whole life working so hard, but they didn't work very hard on their health. And now they're at every doctor's visit. They're in pain, they're on medications, and then it's a long, long road. So don't be that person where you're not at least trying, put it that way. We can't always avoid health issues, diseases, and or certain times where you have to be on medicines because they all have the place in the place as needed. But I think at the end of the day, you can ask questions, you can be more proactive, and that gives you a lot more power in making, better decisions long-term to improve your quality of life. That way you can operate at higher levels and enjoy, your time while you're here. So just, that's the big thing is everyone wants that quality time and the happiness. And that's where it comes from, is really being able to enjoy it because you feel good and, you're helping other people feel good. So anyways, I want to leave you with that because I think that's a really powerful talk that we had the other day. And just want to highlight a few things on that and what that looks like. So get good at cleansing the body, again, from the mind, the body, the soul. Go out there, learn how to love yourself and how to treat your neighbor like you would want to treat another family member. Thanks.